We have a match in like 8 minutes.
Yep.
In a format that we came up with in the Discord for... Actually, I just gave a Brewers challenge to 2 players. And I told them, and you said, ooh, that seemed fun in chat. And after that, it just snowballed. So we're 8 players that are brewing this new format. I don't want to call it a format.
Well, no, it's not a form. It's just but it's a good space to brew in. I think it's as I said, probably one of your best or maybe your best idea so far, because I would have gone for 10 from each expansion, but yeah.
Yeah,
9 is fine.
So if we go through the rules. The rules are... Wait, maybe I can actually do... Let's see. I can probably show the rules in some way. Oh no, you know what I'm playing. There we have them.
Ooh, sweet.
Try to fix something at least. Yeah, so Swedish ban and restricted list. We do full web reprints and so on as usual on the stream. 60 card deck, no more, no less. 15 card sideboard. Minimum 9 cards main deck and 3 cards in the sideboard from each of the, not just following sets, like all the expansions. And Arabian Mountain was first printed in core set. It's the same errata as City in a Bottle and so on, originally printed in the following sets. So I went with 9. You said you would have gone with 10. How did that feel after brewing a bit? Because I did some math and came down to 9. Really thought it through and think it's the... I think 10 is too much. So what was your feeling?
I mean, I could have easily added 1 more, but I would have had to cut power or restricted cards, which I think is fine to get the mana base to work. So yeah, one of my decks, the deck I'm not playing, the mono green, actually had to play 4 City of Brass as forests. But yeah, that's what you have to do sometimes in this format. And my other deck had no problem adding 9 cards from each of the set and pretty much the whole restricted list. So yeah, because I made 2 decks because then I had my opponent Slan Fawn choose if we should play unpowered or powered, and he chose powered, so I took the powered deck. But yeah, I actually missed a lot of cards, so I couldn't brew anything really spicy because I obviously need to buy some weird random Arabian Nights cards and weird the dark cards to get it working.
Yeah, my collection works for the format, so to speak, just because it has since a couple of years back I have complete sets, so I have at least 1 of each stupid card you decide to play. Like for me, Giant Tortoise. I'm playing Giant Tortoise today. That's what I will tell you about the deck. Stomp You Dead is in chat. Maybe he saw the name pop up there, but...
I actually ordered one yesterday. It's an insanely good card in Singleton as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the best blue defense cards.
I think it's probably okay in ordinary old school as well, if you just find the correct like tier 2 deck or spice deck to play it in. Like, it's a 2 mana stop almost everything on the ground.
Yeah, and it's insanely good against Savannah Lions, obviously.
Exactly. Pixies, Savannah Lions, like Llanowar Elves, Scavenger Folks, well played 1 toughness creatures, but it also stops Factories and Curd Apes and what do we have more on the ground? Spitting Slugs, White Knights. White Knight with a Crusade in play doesn't get through it.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, I don't know if it's underplayed because I don't know right straight away which deck actually would want it. Because you want it in some defensive deck, you don't want it in an aggressive deck. So, and usually those defensive decks have a lot of better options, because you usually splash white or red, so you got a lot of good removal anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's as many of the cards that seem good enough. There are just a couple of cards that are too good, or so to speak, that takes the slots. Like, mana restricted cards in ordinary old school is 40 cards. So you only have like 20 more to brew with. A playset of Plows, 2 Wrath of Gods as defensive cards. You can't add a playset of Tortoises as well.
No, because like the two mana drop, even if you play like a slow mono blue deck, the 2 mana slot is a counterspell.
Yeah.
So you don't want to tap out turn 2 or turn 1 for giant tortoise when you could play a counterspell instead. So
Why?
That's one. Yeah, but then again, if you draw an island and off-color mocks, you want to play a giant tortoise because then you can't play counterspell. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. I'm exactly what you said. Like, I don't think it's underplayed because there's problem fitting it, but I think it's good enough for old school. It's actually like a good card. It's just there's no deck that wants it.
Yeah, and I think everyone that plays control-ish decks in Singleton should include it. So yeah, there's a certain all-star there.
Yep. I bought a playset though because I'm.
Yeah.
And you're not surprised.
No, I'm gonna get 2, 1 light and 1 dark. So.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Can we spice up my life? Oh.
So I'm buying a lot of Singleton cards because I'm slowly collecting the expansions.
Ooh,
so,
cool.
So I mean, I got an eye for an eye and stuff like that, which is playable in Singleton. So I try to get those weird playables first.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hide it there. There we have it. Now it's a bit cooler. Yeah. Eye for an eye is. It's a card I want to be good, but it's not even in Singleton, I believe.
Yeah, in Singleton it's okay. I think if you play like white red kind of aggressive deck, it can swing back. But in ordinary old school, but one of the cards that actually are good that's on the same spectrum is the reverse damage, which is actually quite a good card. Because if you play control decks like the deck or stuff like that, you want one of those cards, and I've seen like Stebo been playing it as a one-off in the sideboard, and it can't be blasted.
Yeah. No, but that card I can understand. Also, reverse polarity I think can be played as well.
If you alter it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Oh, with that said, I haven't turned on the card showing function, which can actually be good to have today because we probably will see cards that we usually don't see.
Yeah.
Is my guess. How many decks did you brew?
I only made the 2. The 2 I made last weekend. Because I kind of thought that we will probably play this format again, and I would like to see all the 8 decks and see what people are actually building, and then build from there. I have a lot of other ideas, and one of my other ideas actually is what Charles Klein is playing. So he thought about the idea I was thinking about. And then I was looking at the card Titania's Song, but I didn't. I mean, I needed a couple of more cards. I acquired a bone flute. I have a stone calendar. There's a lot of cards that work with Titania's Song in this format. So I think there's an actual deck there.
I'm with you on that. I'm just seeing. Okay, I need to count my deck because my digital version says I'm playing 59 cards, and that's wrong. But I know exactly what card to add in that case.
Well, if in this format, if you actually play all the cards from the expansions, I think it's a negative to play 59 cards. If you omit a restricted card. So yeah, I actually would like to continue play 60 cards. I wouldn't like to go down to 59 or 58.
That is probably sadly true. Let's see here. That was 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Actually, one card missing. Perfect. I don't know why we cut. We had a brew stream. I don't know if you caught any of it.
No, I missed that you were streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. So I streamed for 3 hours brewing. Brewing. It went through 6 different decks, and chat voted on what to play, and then we brewed it. Finished it together.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if it was 3 hours, I'm not that sad. I missed it actually.
It was more chatting, having fun, and drinking beer.
Yeah, because like the brewing and sleeving up my 2 decks took less than 3 hours. So yeah.
And there we have the last card. I'm probably missing some important card that we decided to play. Maybe my mana base will be whacked now, but
I think people's mana base is gonna be pretty crappy.
I believe so as well. I'm gonna sort here and see. The players are getting ready, so we're going to go down to the game real soon. 6, 7, 8, 16 lands. It's probably a land that's missing.
Yeah, I would almost never play less than 17 lands.
Same here. So 16 lands, full Moxen and so on, and 4 Felwar stones. So
wow, yeah, okay.
The Felwar stones make it 27 sources.
Okay, I have less sources, but my curve is lower, so yeah.
But I probably should play a land anyway. But I'll get greedy just because I can.
Yeah, well, you're playing against a guy without no power, so...
Yeah, it's good to be greedy then. He probably has a lot of artifact removal, so going down to 16 lands can be horrible.
Yeah, well...
Who knows? I moved into Seb's place. If you think this is the same backdrop as Seb's, I'm actually a bit mad. But let's see, I'm gonna try to send the players a message to start, see if all those things are working now. And also I need to set up who is playing who. The first match is between Matt Harper and Charles Klein.
Okay, yeah, I know what Charles is playing because he sent me his list if he hasn't changed it. And I'm guessing Matt Harper what he plays. I mean, he's not on the stream, so my guess that Matt Harper is playing some white-red control-ish deck.
Let's see. I'm thinking we talk more about the decks.
Okay, yeah,
afterwards.
Pillow Fort 69. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going for. What I'm guessing. That's Matt Harper style, for sure.
It really is. Let's.
So yeah.
Bit.
So we actually talked about that, and Charles had the same idea.
Yeah, I think you can Pillow Fort pretty good in this format.
Oh.
But who knows? We see a land there and some damage. Charles taking first blood from himself.
Yeah, I guess that his life total is not gonna matter.
Probably not against the one that called the deck is called Pillow Fort.
Yeah.
But so my deck picture will be wrong though. Okay, Time Walk into Ancestral is pretty good. I know. I need to go and grab a beer. By the way, so I'm gonna leave you by yourself. Sorry about that. I'll be right
All
back.
by myself, Celine Dion.
All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. No, wait. What?
So yeah. Elves of the Deep Shadow. Yeah. Pretty sweet. The dark card to get to those 9 cards. Yeah, I think that the problem with I'm guessing the problem with Matt Harper's deck is that he wanted to include like 20 cards from Legends and can only fit like 9 or 10 of them because there's so many good Legends cards for a Pillow Fort deck. I actually tried building that and I ended up with it was too terrible. I couldn't get it through. Yeah, well, here it goes. Juice some gin and swing with the elf. I wonder if Matt is playing what his actual fort is. If it's Island Sanctuary, Moat, the Abyss. Yep, there comes Mace. And I kind of know that Charles has almost, I don't think he has any answers main deck apart from the Strip Mine, but in the sideboard he has Ice Storms because he was expecting the Mace. If he hasn't changed the deck. Yeah, Urnam, he is just going to slam out more creatures. Hopefully getting through with something. Scavenger Folk is going to be good. But yeah, but next turn, even with Mace, he is getting through for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. If Matt doesn't have any answers. Well, that's the problem with library. It's not that great against really aggressive starts. And I guess Charles had top decked that Ancestral because he didn't play it before the Time Walk. Since he had a Moxen in hand, he should have played Ancestral first. Because Time Walk is so powerful with his attackers. Let's see what he gets. Sylvan. Oh. Yeah, well. If nothing else, it's gonna be a swing for 10. Or maybe swing for 9 and kill the Soul Ring. I don't know.
And I'm back. And trying a new thing here. So if it starts to become an echo on Åland, please do tell me, chat. Because I don't want to use my headphones. But
Sweet.
I think I turned off the echo cancellation in the system, so maybe a problem. We'll see. So life totals now 13, and what are do we know Matt Harper's?
Oh yeah, there's the Nether Void. Sweet. I think Matt Harper is at 18. I think so, but yeah, but he's
Also dead.
yeah, he is almost dead.
Let's see. Oh, it's Dan. Nice. Thanks for coming in. Mace of It deck. My first inclination, the format, correct me if you think I'm wrong, Åland, is there's a lot of Mace of It and Felwar Stones.
Yep, that's true. A lot of maces, a lot of Felwar Stones, and yeah, that's pretty annoying. I mean, I think the maze of it might be a problem in this
I
format.
think so.
Because like it's so weird. I play creatures and it's like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna get through with my creature, so I had to have a backup win con.
It could actually be that you ban Maze of It if you do this again, or restrict it. A ban is boring.
Yeah, I think a restrict is.
Just because it also makes the dark so easy to brew.
Yeah, because like as I said, if you don't have any the dark cards to put in your sideboard, and you aren't playing 4 mazes, you just add up mazes because they are so good.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need to think there.
Well, but I think that Charles' deck is.
It seems evil.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, because I just got the Nether Voids, I was actually thinking about this the same place. I have Nether Voids, Usams, and Urnams, so yeah, I think this is a solid choice.
Yeah, so using all Arabian slots for some big creatures.
Yep. I mean, he has more than 9 Arabian cards.
Yep.
Because of the cities.
Yep. We have Usam 890 in chat. Same for Mishra for auto include, not good. I would say Mishra should absolutely not be restricted in this format to make it work.
I was actually thinking in my mono green deck cutting a Mishra, my 4th Mishra for Forest.
Yep.
Because like there's so much other good antiquities cards. I mean, Pixies, whatever. Like there's so many good and weird cards. Sushis. There's so much good in antiquities. So, oh, that's a twister.
Oof, that's a spicy one. I've actually I cut one Mishra in 2 of my 6 beginning brews, but most of them needed 4 just to have enough mana because you want some core set cards. Like core set cards are the best cards.
Yep.
And
for sure.
If you do 9 of each, not going over any, and cut Mishra, then the core set will only be mana. Almost. Like that's the thing. You almost need to use factories and City of Brasses to make it work.
Yeah, I mean the 4 City of Brass library, 4 Mishras and 1 strip mine is
10 lands.
I mean if you would restrict like City and Mishra, you can't build decks because you're not going to have enough mana. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, but that game was over as soon as that Nether Void hit the table.
Yeah. So for those who have just joined us, these are the rules we are playing by right now, and yeah, it's a very special. I've had very much fun brewing for the format, and I'm thinking the first like Wak-Wak tournament will be this. I want to do an online tournament for everyone in our Discord channel and so on.
Yep.
Let's see, Blazer here. With all these special formats, blah 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 blah, tournament where you play either multiple per match. Most people can't have multiple decks built at the same time. Most people, in different, especially if there's brew restrictions, that makes it even harder. Yep. So I believe something like that could be hard. I can see a tournament like 3 rounds plus 3 rounds with a break in between, where you need to rebuild your deck for the next format. That I can see.
Yeah, I kind of like the Mobster Com where you play the 360 cards decks. That's great. That was a great format.
I did like that a lot as well, but I don't think you can do it with more brew restrictions.
No, that would be hopeless. because in that format in Mobster.com you couldn't actually move cards between the decks. If you only own 2 Tundras, you could only play 2 Tundras. You couldn't play 2 Tundras in 2 decks. So
You could actually.
no, that was against. Well, you can always cheat if you want, but it's specifically said in the rules you couldn't.
Okay, but let's have a look at their decks, because I believe we have them here. So that's not the correct deck. Why isn't
Is
this?
that my opponent's deck?
Why isn't this working?
That's my opponent's deck.
There, we have it.
Yeah.
So this is not the correct deck either.
No, that's Charles' deck.
That's Charles' deck. Why? This was one of the issues I tried to fix while we were late to be able to even show the decks. So this is very Pillow Forty. Like, creatures should not win against this.
Yeah.
Maces, Candelabras, and then 4 creatures. Plows and Reincarnation if you kill or blocks. Or like, I wonder what he drew, because he had nothing.
No, well, he kept the library draw.
No.
And he didn't. I mean, he could sit with like 3 Reincarnations in hand.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, actually, Charles was expecting Maces, so that's why the Ice Storms.
Yeah.
He is expecting Moats, that's why the If Bifefrieds. Falling Stars, actually for Preachers, a lot of the time. But yeah, Weenies as well. But
I believe the sideboard restriction makes the deck. You could think more about the sideboard, just because it's not connected to, like, off the sideboard your deck can be more or less of a set and so on.
Yeah, I actually thought about that. If you should just build a 60-card deck after sideboard, but I ended up not doing it. So basically, if you would play a tournament, you would always sideboard the same way.
Yeah, exactly. It's you could do something like that to make a better deck, so to speak, for 2, but I do like the sideboard 3-3-3-3, like the same card as well.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
And here we see one of the brew things that's kind of fun: Chain Lightnings instead of Lightning Bolt.
Yep, and that's also a card against Preacher. And the reason why he plays Tetravus is Moat instead of 4 tracks, because 4 tracks in a vacuum would be better. But in this format, not so much, I think.
Yeah, and we have Charles on a mulligan, sadly, going down to 6 cards here. Yes, there they are, 6 cards. And the Legends lands are being used.
Yeah, well, they are great. And Matt Harper, actually, I think he played a Legend, the Angus Mackenzie, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all to play. Caracas is probably the best one, or no, Pendelhaven.
Pendelhaven is by far the best one.
Yeah, forgot about that one. But I like, that's also a set how you can get more core slots instead of using them for lands. Then you can use the Legends lands. Problem is, though, they are not duels.
No.
So playing multiple colors in this format is kind of hard.
Yeah, and they are not duels, and they are not basics, so they can't be fetched with land tax.
Yep, and they can be Blood Moon.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I think this format is. This is a great format.
Yeah, so far I like it. The only thing, as we talked about, the Maze of It. But we'll see today. Like, today is kind of the test run.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bit sad that, okay. him to Torque. But like, I'm a bit sad that it became this big. We have 8 players for today. We should have stopped with 5 and tried the Brewers Challenge thing and see if everyone could set off their whole evening and do like a mini tournament or so everyone got to play their deck multiple times against multiple people. But it's a good test anyway.
But I think it's quite good to make 8-man tournament or 8-man field, because we got 8 different decks, and I'm pretty sure that every deck is different. There's no copies. If people want to see how this format works and maybe brew for it themselves, this is a great showcase.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm looking at the deck names now, and yeah.
My deck name is a bit misleading. Eel Fountain.
Okay, that would be interesting to see. I haven't checked the decks actually. I did not have the time.
Yeah, well.
But I do, however, 3 of the 8 players have 69 in their deck name.
Okay, yeah, that I would never do. Well,
I'm not one of those.
No, but this match is going pretty terrible for Charles.
Yep. And is that an Exorcist?
Yep.
Oh, and Commander Worth, thanks for the 4-month resubscription. Even though the bot says 1 month. 314, you're probably here in chat. Yeah, I have not fixed that. I forgot it was MTG bot, and I don't know how to change MTG bot. It'll happen. We do, however, have a new emote today. No, it hasn't been approved by Twitch yet. Damn it. We have some surprised Gordons and some troll faces.
Cool.
Thanks, Commander Worth. Big thanks. And Singplot being back here. Come on, not found.
Who is Singplot?
That's Björn.
Okay, yep.
Stockholm Björn.
Yep.
Not the Björn later on stream.
No, that's Johnny Bonnie.
Exact. He's actually sent in... when he registered the deck as Johnny Myrbacka. I'm a bit sad. He's Bonnie.
Yeah, well. This is like a duel that's this is gonna take long.
But he had a couple of win cons at least, Matt.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna attack with that Exorcist if he can get rid of the mace. Yeah, he has some win cons, but yeah, this is just.
And for those who want to know what Exorcist does, let's bring it up. And yeah, this was also fucked up because, as I said, today has been. This won't work. Okay. I'll take my time fixing it. I'll be okay with that. Capture. Why, Delilah? Do. No, sorry.
Yep.
Let's see if it works now then. Yeah, almost. I'll fix that small part.
That's decent.
Decent ain't good enough.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, as the match goes, this is but not gonna be terribly interesting because
no.
the Charles doesn't really have any. His game plan is to deploy big creatures and a nether void. That's all his game plan is, and it's a good game plan, but not against the Pillow Fort.
No.
Unless
It is, yeah. Oh, now. Wait, no. Okay. Taking one card here. He hasn't used the silver one, or did he? Yeah, he used the silver one once,
Yep.
so it at least replaced itself. The one thing you really need to do with Sylvan Library, if you don't take one card with it, you should never play it. If it's not a combo part. What do you say?
Yeah, I think it's a terrible card. Accepting combos.
Of that we can agree, but like if you play it, like in this format, maybe you need to or something to fill up legend slots. Like then you need to take at least one card, otherwise it's beyond bad.
Yeah. And now let's hope Charles doesn't forget. He doesn't forget to split it.
That's very good. A question about the format. What about reprints? The format itself has nothing to do with reprints and so on. That's
Wait till you see my deck, 75 card white
bordered. I saw you. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw you wrote it.
Yeah, I actually erased the last cards yesterday. The last 4 cards.
Nice, and we have not face. Why do I taking down a very good elemental there? But Charles' mana base is hurting him quite a bit here as well.
Yeah, but actually Charles has some kind of chance here if Matt doesn't get anything going, because he has 4 flyers and the double Urnams.
Yeah, like a Mace of It and a Candelabra next turn. That would be nice for Matt.
Yeah.
But back to the reprint, like you have a banner restricted list, a format, and you have a reprint rule set. Nowadays, that's the best way to see everything. There's a lot of people playing Swedish. Like Swedish rules are the most played on stream, but with any reprints. We still call him the Swedish banner restricted. Like it's Swedish. It's just not Swedish legal. It's not the full Swedish English breakfast or full Swedish breakfast.
Yep.
Or something like that.
I wonder what full Swedish breakfast deck is.
Mannagrynsgröt.
Yeah, but what combo deck is
Oh, what
that?
combo deck? Oh, we need to come up with that.
Yeah.
Before that, we had a question about beer. No, I'm drinking 5 Sankt Fuli, won't pronounce, and it's 5%. I've bought a couple of more easier. Here's the also Sankt Filin. There's their Grand Cru, like just lighter beers right now. Have not looked for the Christofel yet. Just because I just ordered beer from Belgium, so I have like 40 or so of different kinds.
Yeah, and I was drinking the Doggo.
Oh yeah, and that's a nice one. Oh, Oceanbryggeriet, a very good brewery.
Yeah, well, I like to I like them, and they are kind of cheap. The price is really competitive on Oceanbryggeriet.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Okay, but we saw another mace here, but not a candlestick though.
Yeah.
But,
so the Tetra are. Yeah. Shane the Simbad came. I like Simbad. Simbad is a nice card. But he wants to be able to play his Juice Amps.
I had a four Simbad deck as well, but it was voted out by chat when we had the brew session. I played 4 Simbad, 4 Enchantresses, Field of Dreams, Sylvan Library. 4 Sylvan Library in the same deck.
Yeah, maybe we can have a little bit of a mail day here while they're...
Yeah, while they're just doing stuff. Oh, some nice legends there. Lady Orca and Lord Magnus, I believe.
Yep, and Bone Flute and Eye for an Eye.
Bone Flute is just so sexy. Oh! To go with the Lich?
Yep.
Okay, those I don't actually own. I'm thinking of buying a playset.
Well, they cost like €5 each, so
What?
it's one of the cheapest unlimited rares. So yeah, go for them.
Ooh, nice one.
I only have 4 in black borders and 1 unlimited, so I'm getting 4.
Yeah, big
And
attack here, by the way, taking down Matt to 5. Now it seems hard for Matt to...
Yeah, I wonder what the hell is the problem with Matt's deck.
Yeah, because it seems to... Like, if Charles isn't very quick, he should just win straight up.
Yeah, but the problem is that it's basically like a pillow fort control deck, but it plays so much weird bad cards. And I think that Ivory Tower hasn't gained him a single life.
No. I had Ivory Tower in my deck for like a second in the sideboard and like, nope.
I'm not gonna. I don't like playing Ivory Tower without like land tax.
You could play 4 Ivory Tower in ordinary old school as a sideboard thing, just to hope to have 1 in your starting hand and try to rely on that in like the deck versus blue red burn or something like that. But that's about it. Otherwise, you need some way to bring up the cards.
I don't even like it in the deck. The problem in the deck is like you keep your hands in your cards in your hand, and then the opponent goes like Mind Twist. Okay, I'll discard all my mana sources, and it's like so terrible.
Absolutely, there are problems with it. Greed also another combo. Like it's as Sylvan. You need to combo it with stuff. But we have from Kabolin in chat. What are some native Swedish breakfast item? And yeah, he is packing it up. We should talk just a quickie with the players and their brews. I think that's the probably most important part today, to talk with each player how they battled the format, where they came from.
Yep.
So I'm gonna see if I can set that up. I believe it is set up, actually.
Let's see if anyone comes in as a double. That's always my favorite. That was also in the bingo. Someone appears twice on stream.
They will probably end up coming in upside down today, just because I did some new tech stuff and we'll see. We'll see. We'll try to get the players in here and hope everything works as it should. Okay. Oh, they're not even upside down. Hello, guys.
That's insane.
Hey.
So, how are you guys doing?
It was fun.
So the pillow fort didn't very much pillow fort things. What happened there, Matt?
It didn't draw anything.
No, it seemed terrible.
I mean, it's like there's 3 swords in there. There's Angus. There's everything in there. I just didn't.
Yeah, like candelabras with those maces, 4 preachers, 3 swords of plowshares, Angus McKenna. It should be pretty good against 4 mana creatures. This is what you played. But before we go into Charles's deck that crushed you in this game, how did you approach the format? What did you think about it, and how did you think when you came up with this deck?
What was I basically maybe about a week ago, reincarnation in the post, and I've been dying to play with it. And when this format came up, I thought, right, that's 4 cards I'm putting in straight away. And then I got my 4th Preacher this week as well, because I'm about 6 cards off a playset of the Dark now that I've been picking up slowly. So I'm like, I want to play Preachers and Reincarnation. And then I just thought, well, I've always fancied playing Sinbad and Sylvan Library. And all of a sudden it's like, well, that's half the criteria of all the 999. So I just filled the rest out with good stuff. Although I didn't seem to draw any good stuff against Charles. Even with a turn 2 Time Walk, turn 3 Ancestral, he twisted away a Swords to Plowshares. I didn't get any Candelabras, didn't draw any more Preachers other than the one he killed. I was counting the chains, and he used the 3rd chains, and I'm like, I've just got to bait him out with these until he's got no chains, and then I'll just drop Angus Mackenzie and just sit there and he can't win. that was the plan in game 2 anyway.
And if I told you before the match, game 1 you were going to have Library, and game 2 you were going to have both Time Walk and Ancestral your opening hand, you would be very satisfied, and so would anyone. So yeah, it's kind of hard to feel too bad because,
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty good in old school.
Yeah, I mean, that first game with Library and Sylvan Library, I was digging for another Maze of Ith because I knew that there's 3 in there. I'm like, dig for a Candelabra or a Maze of Ith and I can stop these 2 beat sticks hitting me. But I must have gone through, I don't know, 3 or 4 turns of drawing 2 cards a turn and looking at a fresh 3 each turn and didn't find anything. So it's like, there you go. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Sometimes that's just it. But was this the only deck you were brewing on, or do you have more ideas in mind?
Well, I have more in mind. I'm playing in the Odal League this month as well, which is the 4 Horsemen.
Yeah, the no core sets.
Yeah, the no core set. And in that one, I'm playing red-green Living Plane with Living Plane and Trackers and Falling Stars and Pyrotechnics and Chains and Rook Eggs and City in a Bottle and Golgothian Silexes. So I did adjust that one for this format as well. But then I thought, no, I really want to play with those reincarnations and preachers. Another one that almost works, which I didn't quite finish, was Leprechaun Ward.
Oh, can you
The
do?
Leprechaun.
You can't do this in this format. You need both circles and laces and wards.
Yeah. You could
But, yeah,
just about do it.
I mean, that deck's
Gordon,
impossible.
he's not like you, Gordon. He doesn't have to play Power 9 in all decks.
You need to. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to play the power. You don't need to play power in Leprechaun Ward. It's
Okay, so over to Charles, and this was your deck here.
I thought his deck was mean.
Yeah, this is a real deck, for fuck's sake.
I mean,
first-
it's so fun, Charles. For we kind of discussed what Matt was gonna play, and kind of put the read on him exactly, even to play him playing preachers.
Well, I mean, a couple things. One is, it's funny how streams work. You can run really hot like today, but I played last week Land Equilibrium. I didn't see the card once.
Yep.
I played Reanimator with Gorda with 4 Bazaars, and Mulligan 2 or 3 times a game. I didn't see a single Bazaar. And then you could just run hot. After running so cold, you could just you can do no wrong.
It was your
Library, no problem. Ancestral Time Up, no problem. So it's just funny how that works. But Alana and I were talking about this. What I was the dark is really slim picking. So I was very confident I was going to be seeing 4 preachers. I was very worried, and Chains takes 4 legend spots. It's a cool format. I was thinking land tax would be great with the Arabian Mountain, because Arabian doesn't give you
Yeah.
anything? And Gordon's like, no, you cannot do that.
It's the same ruling as with City in a Bottle, originally printed in, as we have lax reprint rules as well. Of course, Charles!
Well, then I'm not playing Arabian Mountains then. You don't get to see them. That's it. You can't see them. But like, this was like a cool idea, I thought, because you can have, from the dark, which is slim pickings, the 4 Elves of Deep Shadow, and the Scavenger Folk are 8 real cards, right? Especially if you're going to go green-black with the Jazams and Nethervoids. All of a sudden, all 4 of those, all 8 of those creatures are awesome. And then the 9th card is just a Maze of Ith, and I didn't sideboard because I didn't know. I beat Matt so quickly the first game, I didn't know what he was doing. So there was no sideboarding. I was like,
okay, Ola, what do you say? Humble brag?
Yeah.
Oh man, after losing, Matt always beats me. Like we play all the time, and I have a losing record of like 2 wins to 8 losses per turn. So it's like I have to savor it. It'll never happen again, probably.
Yeah, but you deserved it after like what you played against me.
Gordon, I lost to Enchantress.
Yep.
My friends will never let me forget that I lost to Enchantress.
And Olan just bought Enchantresses.
Yeah, I just got my Enchantress, so yeah, we'll have to play, and you'll have to lose to that.
I'm gonna have to lose to everybody. At least I'm not losing to Dingaseg, right? There's always a lower rung on the ladder than Enchantress. Don't beat me with Dingaseg, at least.
Well, we can build Dingaseg Armageddon. That's no problem.
Just want to make sure that I feel pain.
I promise, if I build the Dingaseg Armageddon deck, I will probably win against you, Charles. That seems how your luck happens when we play.
It's just so like the winning doesn't mean anything to me or the losing. It's just having some fun and showcasing some cool decks.
Yeah, but. So, how did you approach the format when you started? This is your brew challenge.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't that easy. It looks like after you solve a problem, it looks pretty easy. And this deck looks pretty much like you wouldn't, if the Chain Lightnings were lightning bolts, it could look like a Swedish deck, right? It doesn't look bad, right? You'd wonder if I said this was Swedish, you'd be like, why not lightning bolt? But I think the dark was the hard part, right? It's like, what do you take from the dark? So it was either Fellwar Stones and Preachers, Maze of Iths, or Elves. I couldn't really, or the Ball Lightning, strategy. So I started there. The deck I wish I played, which would have been like, if I didn't play this, but I thought about it too late, would be City in a Bottles, which you didn't ban, Gordon, and then 4 Rook Eggs and then Animate Deads. That would be a really fun strategy, I think.
Yeah, I looked at I thought about it because there are some formats I think shouldn't ban it and some that should and so on. But the thing is, everyone needs to play at least 9 Arabian cards, even the one who plays the City. Even though City takes slots from it, and I think it's a pretty fair card in the format actually. That is pretty good, against a deck like yours, but a deck like yours, Matt. What does it? It kills the lands. It's a good land destruction card.
But if you're playing Rook Eggs and then I play Bottle, I can get a 4/4 flyer for myself and then destroy all my opponent's Arabian cards. That could be a pretty good swing right there.
Yep. Well, that's a strategy that might work. Yeah. And I was actually thinking about playing Diamond Valleys or something myself, but then I guess that my opponent's lawn fawn 99% sure is going to play Diamond Valleys. So knowing his card pool, so I decided I'd make something really boring. But yeah, I was also trying to build like this deck that Charles built, and I there's not much difference. I wasn't playing the trikes because they were too expensive, but yeah. But then we talked, and I liked the Tetravus. I really like them.
Well, the Tetravus does 2 things, right? I was sure I was going to see Maze, and my plan is that deals with Maze in a sense, right? And it did in this game, because you're going to split it off. And Moat, which can't remove, it helps with Moat for 1 card. And I just thought 2 trikes was okay because I had the Elves of Deep Shadow for more ramp besides the jewelry, and there's limited removal. I didn't just want to rely on 4 chains in case.
No.
I saw what I saw.
We had a rule, if you don't remember, to do a deck picture with the sets.
Oh yeah. Didn't do that.
So how do you read out your deck picture? Is the first row just Arabian? No, wait.
So the Arabians are the top 8 creatures. You have the Urnums, you have the Jazams, and then the bottom 4 cities. So there's 12 Arabian. The dark is the 4 scavenger folk at the top, and then wrapped around the first and second column, you have the elves, that's 8, and in the corner, bottom left, you have the maze, that's 8, that's 9 for the dark. And then you have the 3 Sullivans, and right below them, the 4 chains, and right next to it, the 2 for 8 and 9 Nether Voids for legends.
Yeah, and that means core set is only restricted cards. You're not relying on, and no, exactly. It's just restricted.
Antiquities cards?
Sorry?
How many antiquities cards? The strip mine, yeah.
Yeah, there's a strip mine in the corner.
So there's 5 lands, the 4,
you have the 4, right,
6
you have the 4, the 2 Tetravis, the 2 Triskelion is 4, the 4 Mistress Factory is 8, and then strip mine's 9. For that set. And then you can see the sideboard I did put out 3/3 core set, and then an order of release.
I love the sideboard, by the way. Just like, no, I'll choose 5 cards.
That's beautiful. That's the most aesthetic pleasing sideboard I have ever seen, I think.
Yes.
Well, I went for aesthetically pleasing because the one card from the dark I really wanted instead of one maze, but it looked weird, was Darkheart, which I thought if I was playing a burn deck almost makes this deck unbeatable. Darkheart's so good in this deck by gaining that life. So I thought it was really good, but I just went with this.
Yeah, I thought about Elves of Deep Shadow in a brew I had, and was like, okay, 4 Elves of Deep Shadow and 4 City of Brass. It can be pretty hurtful if you're not aggressive.
Yeah, you for sure have to be aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Darkheart, I played against a guy online that inspired me to make another one of these decks, but I couldn't quite get it to work, which was a Land Equilibrium, Fast Bond, Darkheart of the Woods deck, Armageddon deck. And he got me with it. He Armageddon, he played Fast Bond, played all his lands out, played Land Equilibrium, and then sacked them all to Darkheart. And then played a bunch more lands and made an Urnum Djinn, and then sacked all his lands to Darkheart. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah?
It kind of locks you out, but when he wants to, plays a bunch of land, casts something, and then sacks them all again, so you still can't play anything.
Actually, kind of sweet. I think it's probably hard to set up, but kind of sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I can barely set up simple things on stream, so I'm not trying that.
You never draw. You will never draw land again. Oh, you had another one in the one game. You actually drew one of the cards.
I actually drew something I was trying to do. It was like shocking.
But with that, guys, I have one last question to the players. Would you play this format again?
Absolutely.
I don't know what you had to drink last week when you came up with this idea, but it's really great. It's really great. I hope you're drinking the same thing because you'll have another good idea this stream. It's a lot of fun. Like, I really hope we can do this again because I'd be excited to brew. And I actually think the restrictions are really great. You could play with all the busted stuff, but you don't have room for everything because you have to put some cards from the dark, which weakens it. And the restrictions are pretty cool. It's actually a lot of fun to brew that way.
We discussed here, Olan and me. Actually, I'm taking back last question. I have one other. That is, Olan thought we should just make it clean and have 10. But I believe it hates on core set too much. We can see your deck here, Charles, where you're not playing any core sets. But if you want to brew something that's just not some good Arabian creatures and things around that, you probably have a core set card that is core of the deck. Sure, you can cut power and so, but because power isn't banned or restricted, you don't want to cut too much of the restricted cards for core set cards. So I'm sticking with that 9 is the perfect number. It's maybe strange, but
I think it's a perfect number, and that's just, there's some chance in there, some luck. But I think 8, I wouldn't want an extra 4 slots. That makes it much more like regular Swedish. And to take away another 4 slots really makes it hard to brew something reasonable. I think 9 is the right number. It really feels pretty much perfect.
Yeah, if you go 10, you have to play 4 Cities of Brass and 4 Mishra's Factory and a Strip Mine and Maze of Ith. Otherwise, you can't fit any. You might as well just play the 4 Horsemen if you go 10.
Like that's my feeling. With 10, it's expansions plus duels and power.
And I think that's less interesting.
Yeah, which is exactly what you played. Sorry.
It's nice looking at a deck with mostly expansion cards, right? You never see it.
I had a hard time brewing like Enchantress and so on, I would say, because the good enchantments are core set and Enchantress is core set. That was not my best idea, by the way.
There are some decks that can't be made in this format for sure.
Like bots copy artifact is hard because you went 8 bots, 4 core slots for that like Suchi Trisk copy. But you also need like the factories to be able to have those core slots, and then you have more than. But that also makes it interesting.
Well, no one is missing that deck. It's not like, oh my, no one plays 4 copy artifacts and 4 sushis and 4 trikes. Oh, I'm so sad. It's like you've seen it a million times.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I miss it.
I did try brewing with the Urza's lands as well, the Tower Mine and Power Plant.
But that's
then just
12 cards.
That's 12 straight. But it means you can have more core cards, but so what? You want those lands to make robots, which are in the same antiquities set, and you just can't fit everything in. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, if you play Ursa lands and Aladdin's Ring from Arabian Nights, I think you have to make a different kind of deck. I have a lot of ideas that I want to try, and I'm a lot more excited to brew in this format than Swedish, for example. Well, my deck today is not fun at all, but
we'll see. But with that, I will say bye to you as well, Åland. You were in here for one run to commentate, and we'll see you play later on. Charles, I believe you said you could do commentary with me next round.
You're stuck with me for another round.
That sounds good. I will still kick you out, and you're gonna rejoin as a commentator. So with that, guys, I will say thank you to all of you 3, and we'll set up for the next match.
And let me just say, Matt, thank you so much for the match. It's always we're good friends, so this was a lot of fun to get. And we played the very first Swedish 9/69 games. So
cool. The first in the world.
What was odd was the fact that I play you 3-4 times a week usually, and we test stuff against each other. And this week, I was like, I can't bounce my ideas.
That was the hardest part because I wanted to Matt, I'm doing this. What do you think? And I just couldn't do it. Like
for real, again I missed. Åland. Mikael. Testing?
Yeah, I think testing should be banned from Magic.
I know. I asked Olan. I said, Olan, let's play. Let's test. Olan's like, I'm not responding to this. No.
I hate the concept of testing. I'm like Mano, as I usually said. I want to play a tournament or something. There has to be some kind of event. I don't play for fun.
I don't play for fun. Okay, maybe
That's
not
what he
the
said to me
same
in
as.
private messages. I'm not playing you, Charlie. I'm only playing for fun.
But no, I'm completely testing. No, I'll brew and then we'll go. So with that, guys, gotta throw you out to get the next game and do some. Hello. Cheers.
See you, Matt.
See you soon.
Cheers. Catch you later.
Bye.